For the Southern California Prep Insider, I'm Keith DeMolder here for another edition of the Best of the Rest podcast. We are here in the beautiful Mother Nature here at Frank G. Bonelli Regional Park out here in San Dimas, California for another edition of the podcast. And sometimes, folks, it's the middle of the season. You just got to take a quick break. You got to take a break from football, come out here, enjoy the nature. We got some beach here. No beach goers yet because it's in the middle of the day as usual, but, you know, there's some beautiful birds, nature. Either way, we're breaking it all down here on the Best of the Rest from all around the city section, from Division 3, Division 2, 8-man. We have it all right here on the podcast. And first and foremost, we got to get to 8-man because there was a big rematch that we previewed in the last podcast that came to fruition last week. So, starting in the 8-man division, we go to New Designs University Park. They had a 38-34 win, a close win over NVMI. New Designs, they look very good right now. Seems like their offense is firing. They seem to be a team to beat for sure in that 8-man division. New Designs Watts forfeited to Bosco Tech. Fulton with a 26-6 win over Sun Valley. Animo Robinson played the rematch of last year's 8-man CIF championship game with Sherman Oaks CES, and last year was pretty close. It was, I believe, it was a 28-14 game or maybe a 28-12 game. Either way, Animo Robinson this season a much better squad. 60-8, they beat Sherman Oaks CES, so it wasn't even close in that one. So Animo Robinson right now is the team to beat. We knew that coming in that they were going to be the likely champion in the division, but it's kind of anybody's game. New Designs University Park, as I said, is a team to watch out for sure. But Animo Robinson seems to be like the team that's going to win it all once again this season. Discovery with a 42-22 win over East Valley, and then Hesperia Christian really put a beating on Teach Tech Charter, 80-0 against Teach Tech. So, unfortunately, TTC, they got some kinks to work out defensively, but Hesperia Christian's a very good team, so don't take anything away from them. Moving on to D3, Hollywood 22-9 over Marquez. Roybal with another win on the season. They come into the year 35-game losing streak. They break it, and then they put another one on the win column, 41-0 over Sotomayor. Santee with a big win over Jefferson, 36-25. Rancho Dominguez, 34-28 over Jordan. Chavez with a 15-6 win over Poly. Rivera eked out a win over West Adams, 15-12. And then Bernstein, 35, Belmont, 28. And then Contreras with a 43-20 win over Mendez. Moving on to D2, Sylmar, 42-6 over Panorama. That was just a game I wanted to shout out. Verdugo Hills, 28-22 over Monroe. Huntington Park, 12-0 over Southeast. Southeast still hasn't scored a single point. That game was from D1. Just wanted to shout that one out. Crenshaw, 50-1 over Fremont. Manual Arts, 48-8 over George Washington Prep. Locke, 63-0 over Hawkins. And then Franklin, the team to beat out of that D2 bracket, 42-25 over Lincoln. Eagle Rock, the Rock, folks, 70-0 over Torres. Torres, we thought maybe would give them a run for their money, but clearly right now the Eagle Rock Eagles are the team to beat in that D1 division, that Northern League. They're likely to take it. Roosevelt, 40-21 over Legacy. 21 second-half points from Roosevelt and plenty of Ochoa touchdowns. So watch out for the Rough Riders. And then Wilson, 55-12 over Marshall. A huge game coming up this week, by the way, folks. Wilson will preview that game in just a bit. But those are the scores from around the Best of the Rest. Big games I want to shout out here. Eagle Rock, 70-0 over Torres. I mean, the Rock right now, they're playing some weaker competition, and it's interesting because they're blowing out people offensively. You got to wonder, once playoffs roll around, whether they're going to compete well. Thus far, they've competed. I like what I've seen from the Rock. But Franklin, they've looked very good in the D2 region over Lincoln. Lincoln's a pretty decent ball club, so Northern League title, I'm not exactly sure who it's going to go to, whether it's Franklin or whether it's Eagle Rock. Either way, that's going to be a huge matchup come later this season. Watch out for those two teams. Speaking of which, games to watch out for this week. Animo Robinson taking on New Designs University Park. That's on Thursday. And then just talking about that New Designs defense, they've been very good, but the Monarch offense has been even better. So I expect a big win for AR. I don't really see, as I said, anybody really challenging them in that 8-man division. Moving on, Santee taking on Manual Arts. I'll be at that game. 6-0 versus 5-1. So Santee, they're going to have their undefeated record challenged against Manual Arts. That's at Manual Arts, so watch out for that game. Joseph Todd and Santee will have their biggest test of the year. Thomas Whitehead, Jalen McElroy, and Virgil Tynes III. Very good players for the Toilers, so watch out for that game. And then Monroe taking on Arleta. Watch out for them. Monroe's had a pretty good season thus far, but so has Arleta. And then Wilson versus Franklin. Franklin having the home game, so they have the advantage there. Alfred Bobadilla and Wilson's Julian Hernandez are going to battle it out. Watch out as well for Daniel Ariola, the running back for Wilson, who has 405 yards, 15 touchdowns on the year. It's going to be an all-out offensive assault, basically. I'm not expecting any defense from either team, really. Franklin, we know Bobadilla is fantastic, but Wilson as well, they're kind of one of these more underrated, they've won a couple titles in the past, but nobody really talks about Wilson as a football school. So if they are able to beat Franklin, watch out for the Mules. And then another big game, Eagle Rock taking on Marshall. Marshall, we saw, early season wins, but thus far they've kind of been sputtering. So maybe it's not the year for the Barristers moving up a division. Either way, big game there in that Northern League. So the game of the week that I went to this past week, it was an interesting thing, folks, because just like Southeast, the Taft Toreadors have yet to score a single point all season long. And so I came into the game expecting, it's a home game. Taft, they got to put a point on the board. It's got to happen sometime. Before the game, they were outscored 296-0 going into the game. They exited it without a point as well. 48-0, a loss to Taft in that D2 division. And I talked with their head coach, Edward Evans, after the game, and he knows just as well as anybody that now being outscored 344 points to nothing this season, that things are quite dim. But he's making sure to always remain on the positive side, and that's so great from him. He mentioned something interesting about how every game it's a masterpiece, is what he said. It's its own universe, he said. So take a look at the interview, hear what he had to say after an unfortunate 48-0 loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers. For the Southern California Prep Insider, I'm Keith DeMolder here from Taft High School. An unfortunate loss tonight. The Toreadors fall 48-0 to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm here with Coach Edward Evans. A tough loss tonight, Coach, but is there any beauty in the madness?
Well, the beauty of the madness, if there's madness to be said, is that our guys competed. We compete all the way to the end. We're a program in transition right now, and we're getting better each and every week. So the score is not really indicative to how well we are playing based upon where we came from. So our goal is to try to get this program back to its glory days, but more so have a nice, solid program here at Taft High School.
Tonight, you guys had two opportunities to kick some field goals. Unfortunately, they went a little bit wide left. What were some positives from those drives as you guys were in Cleveland territory all night?
Well, the positive that we were able to throw the ball. We had a quarterback now that's only played his first game, so we're going to some transition at the quarterback position. We have an amazing kicker in Jonah, and we just kind of missed it just a little bit, and we have to get him on track as well as the other things that we're trying to accomplish with our offense. But our offense is, we had some very decent drives. They just sputtered, or we had some problems as it came to trying to complete it with a field goal, in some cases trying to get that touchdown.
So Cleveland's obviously a very good team. What did they do well tonight against your guys?
Well, they just stayed positive. They just kept going. It was a close game for the first half. And then as time went on, they just kept playing strong. And as strong as we played, they had the breaks. They made some great plays. Can't take anything away from them. They did a great job, And so we'll learn from it. We're still in league. Who knows what happens? We still have 4 more league games, and who knows what the future holds.
You said to your guys after this one, you said, we're not done yet. It's not over yet. We got 4 more games. Why is that what you said after the game? These guys just got blown out 48-0. You want to look towards the future?
Every game is its own universe, all right? So if I say anything negative, it's not right. The bottom line is that there is 4 more games. And in this league and in this city section, hey, we make a run at it. Who knows what the outcome might be? We might make the playoffs. But the point is they need to play each and every game and be positive about it and be happy about their success because they are successful players.
Taft has a strong future, guys, as long as this guy is at the helm. Thank you so much, Coach. A unfortunate loss here at Taft, but they are looking towards the future. 4 more games. Let's send it back to the podcast. So that's going to wrap it up here for the Best of the Rest podcast. We thank head coach Evans for that. And, folks, there's a lot of teams that they won't do so well this season, but what I like from Evans is that he still has a positive mindset going in every week, that you can really take something good out of every week. And it was interesting about that game that against Cleveland, a very good team offensively. They can run the football, and they were just really outpacing Taft all night. Taft kept it close. It was, I believe, maybe 7-0 after the first quarter. So they were in it, basically, and they had 2 chances for field goals that unfortunately sailed wide left. But don't count out the Toreadors this week against Granada Hills. It's their homecoming game, so a big game for them. Watch out for that. They could have their first win of the season. Who knows? It's likely to be a close contest as the 1-5 Granada Hills Highlanders have experienced some adversity this season as well. But with that, we're going to wrap it up here for the Best of the Rest podcast. From Mother Nature, we're signing off here. I'm Keith DeMolder for the Southern California Prep Insider. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.